just got destroyed. And at this point, there's a cheese that comes out for G. And as you said, just too many items to overcome. And Fnatic just really needed like excellent teamwork, but they just seem in shambles. They even like switch roles from the group stage. I was very surprised to see that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We talked about the fact that it was a signature hero for Mushi, and then didn't even see him on it, which was a little bit odd. But maybe he thought it was time for the Padawan to step up and become the master. But that didn't work out, did it? We are going to move swiftly on. So we're going to move on to our final game. We're going to get into that very shortly. Invictus Gaming versus MVP Hot 6, of course. Hot 6 coming into this as the second part of the MVP duo, but without a win from the group stage. We're going to start things off with a look at Invictus Gaming. You should know them and love them by now, of course. Former champions. And who else are we going to talk to other than Ferrari?
第一次见430的时候，就觉得这个人有点疯狂吧，每天都在打，就是他也没玩别的，就一直在练，一直在打。
我觉得430他首先对自己从来不会降低要求，他不会乱看网页什么的，就是。
我觉得 IG 最强的地方在于我们能适应所有的战术，因为基本上所有的英雄我们都会去用，都会去尝试所有的套路，我们都可以去复制它，然后去学习它。
我觉得430这5年一直在 IG 打，是我挺佩服的吧，因为很多职业选手都是这么多年就是一直保持一个很好的竞技状态的。
第一个反应就是一个挺大胆的人。比较刚，然后，当然这和他技术高有关吧。艺高人胆大，但是他绝对是一个不怂的人，在游戏。
感觉时间过得特别快吧，感觉 TI1、TI2仿佛都在昨天一样，一下突然就到 TI5了，感觉时间过得还没有反应过来，时间已经过去了。
IG 和他之间已经有一种特殊的感情了。
我们人员一直在变动嘛，但是430从来没有离开过 IG 也确实很需要。
IG 在我心中可能就代表了 Dota 吧，因为我一直在这个队伍当中。一起最难忘的经历当然是 TI 夺冠，我相信所有的人、所有的队伍，如果 TI 能夺冠，这都是他们最深刻的经历。
兄弟啊，这个 TI 是打一届少一届，希望我们今年能够打漂亮一点，然后继续一起并肩作战吧，这样。
There we are then, the franchise known as Invictus Gaming, IG, former champions of course at the International. Ferrari of course hunting that second one as well. They do have a tall order against them to get through the lower bracket all the way to the grand final. It starts right now here in the lower bracket, best of one, and they go head to head with a dangerous team. And although they're a dangerous team, they've yet to show their true colours here at TI5 without a win from the group stages, but their captain is about to change that if he has his way.
I grew up in many places because my dad, he's a diplomat, so I had to follow him around on his tours. Every time we move, it's goodbye to my friends, and as I got older, it was harder to make friends. I started playing games at the age of 8 or 9. Our country had one of the first esports scene in the world, and even as a kid, there were professional gamers who were making big bucks and getting a lot of airtime, and the more and more I tried, the more and more it seemed like I could be one of those people. And by the time I was 22, I was playing competitively. At the age of 24 is when I was called to the army service. It was hard for me as a gamer because I thought I was playing the best just before I had to go into the military. So after I was done with the military, I spent the following years trying to recover from my absence of gaming. It was kind of like recovering from an injury. It happened and you can't really do much about it. I tried my best to get in shape again. Towards the end of my service, March recruited me, even though I had been not in the scene for 2 years. Like, he had faith in me as a teammate, and then we played together for a year, and that's when we split up and I moved to MVP Hot 6. My role in the team as a captain, it's to make sure that everyone on my team is given a chance to play their A game. So I want to give them confidence. I think that's my biggest job as a captain. I hope TI5 will be the tournament that proves to me that my team can be one of the best. But it would basically be a statement for myself that I can achieve anything as long as I don't give up.
There we are then. MVP Hot 6, the final 16th team that we're talking about today. And of course, in our 6th and final match of a very long day. The players are waiting backstage to enter the arena. I'm sure they'll get a raucous applause and cheers from the crowd when they do so. And they'll go head to head with a former champion in the form of Ferrari and Co in IG. So, big game for both these two teams, as we've said many times before. On these best of ones, they've proved to be exactly what they thought would be. We've seen some spectacular play, very exciting, and also we've seen a bit of a crush actually from Virtus Pro as well. And just to update you, it's probably worth taking a quick look at the bracket as well, just to show you how it's all shaping up. Empire, of course, going through a little bit earlier on. Cloud9 dropping down to the lower bracket. They'll take on Vici Gaming as well. That's going to be a fantastic game when that one happens. And at the bottom half, you'll see that Fnatic, of course, now dumped out of the competition by Virtus Pro. We've got that last final spot available in the next round. We'll have lost 4 teams today. It's been a brutal day for many reasons, not just for Seb, but also for 4 teams as well. But in all seriousness, as a fan, it's been kind of exciting as well. And I almost feel bad to say that because you're losing teams and great teams and great players in amongst that. Alan, how do you feel about it?
I mean, it's just the reality of the sport. And, I mean, if you look at all the great tournaments in all sports, I mean, March Madness is my favorite time of year, other than TI now. And it's just an inevitable aspect of it that your favorite teams and your favorite players, you know, all but one of them are going to be going home. But IG, you want to talk about championship teams. Yeah. I mean, this is one. And really, unfortunately, throughout this competition, we've seen great individual players from their team members. We have not seen great play as a team from IG. We're still looking for that at this event. Yeah,
still waiting for it to happen. Hot 6, MVP Hot 6, came through the qualifiers ahead of their sister team, of course, so we expected perhaps more from them. But in Group B, they were actually largely disappointing. Didn't pick up a single win either. Went 0-2-5, actually the worst record of both groups. It seems almost impossible that they could overcome such a strong team as IG, even though they've not had the best of tournaments either. They've got to pull out something magical tonight.
To me, if they somehow, like, if they can play somehow as well as they did in the qualifiers, then they have a shot at winning tonight. But if they play like they did in the group stage, I think it's going to be very tough. It's going to be very hard for them.
What are the keys, Malini, for IG to show us their true colours?
I think they can't be caught off guard by Hatsuka's picks. They picked, I think, Tinker one time. They picked Huskar one time, which got countered by a Timbersaw. But still, they're not afraid to go outside of the box. And I think they're actually the most likely team out of the 8 to go outside of the box. And you were talking about fans. The IG fan runs deep. The Burning Ferrari, these names are legends in the Eastern scene. If you think Dendy is big here, these guys are bigger, are just mega stars over there.
Well, and for good reason. I mean, you know, these are those players you listed. They're among the players that you don't have to know a single thing about Dota. And you watch Ferrari play mid, and you know you're watching a great player. There's just absolutely no doubt. I mean, these guys, when you look at their contributions to the metagame, to item builds, these are the guys that players around the world are copying.
Yeah, they've definitely shaped the way that Dota 2 has been played over the years. I guess the key is, and we're talking about this quite a lot today, and we'll continue to talk about it throughout the week, we're still searching for the second title from someone. And now they're all, you know, there's 12 of them. They're all dotted around different teams now. So it's even harder to keep track of where they are. But there are, again, an opportunity within this team. But this is going to be so tough, Wagger, isn't it? Going through that lower bracket?
It's going to be very tough for IG, and it's tough for me to watch this because I'm pretty emotionally invested as I'm a former teammate of Jarek's, and I know I met with Sing Sing earlier here in the arena as well, so we'll both, of course, be cheering for Jarek's to take
having an old boys reunion.
Yeah, pretty much. No, I hope for MVP Hot 6 to pull out the play, as Sebastian said, from the qualifiers. They looked strong back then, and in the group stage they struggled.
And by the way, Jarex has actually played really, really well. Like he's had some very nice games. And despite the lumps that they've taken, he's among the leaders in assists per 35 minutes, both in the qualifiers and in the group phase. I feel like actually he and Heen have played well enough for this team to win, but their core play has been really inconsistent. Sunby has had some really, really rough games, and sort of the big plays from Forev that we saw in the qualifiers just haven't been there.
What's been the biggest difference for you, Wagger, between what looked like a strong team? Maybe you could actually come and represent Korea and go far, but looking so weak in the groups. What's the difference?
I think it's just, level of preparation. Like, they came into the qualifiers. I talked to him about this. They felt like they were peeking into the qualifiers there and just doing really well. And a lot has changed since then. It's a completely different game just looking back to the C qualifiers and now.
Yeah.